How to make him obsessed without saying a word. You know what's more intoxicating than your beauty as a woman? Self control, but not the kind that makes you feel small or quiet to be liked. It's the kind that makes people lean in, the kind that makes a man's mind run wild trying to figure out why you're so magnetic, why he can't stop thinking about you. There is no chasing, no convincing, no emotional auditions for a part you're not even sure you want. Just strategy, silence, and pure feminine power. I didn't always have this. A few years ago, I was a woman checking my phone like it was life support, waiting for the ping, the call, the validation that I mattered. I would overthink every word I sent. I'd replay conversations in my head like a movie with bad actors on repeat. And it wasn't just with men, it was in business and friendships, even my family. I would pour myself out for people who couldn't even be bothered to meet me halfway. It's exhausting and it chips away at you piece by piece. Then life handed me a little crash course, okay? A failed engagement to a man who looked perfect on paper, but lived a double life. Business betrayals that stripped away income streams overnight, moving to a foreign country and realizing that if I didn't learn how to stand in my own power, I'd drown. So I stopped playing their game and I started playing my own. Today, I'm giving you the same 5 dark psychological scripts I use to become emotionally untouchable and magnetic to the right kind of men. Script number 1, the void. Now, I don't know about you, but we were taught to fill every silence as women, to explain ourselves until we were completely depleted, to respond instantly so nobody thinks we're rude. Okay? The void flips that script. When he drops a passive aggressive comment or a guilt trip, don't flinch. Do not defend yourself. And for heaven's sakes, do not explain. Look him dead in the eye. Let the words just hang there like a live wire. Here's what happens that silence becomes a psychological black hole. He has to sit with his behavior. He starts backpedaling or revealing exactly who he is. Either way, it's a good thing. Now, I learned this the hard way at a dinner in Monaco with a man who thought he could undermine me in front of mutual friends. I smiled, stayed silent, and took a slow sip of that champagne. And by the end of the night, he was the one trying to get back in my good graces. Silence, used strategically, is devastatingly attractive. Number 2, the scarcity principle. People value what they cannot easily have. This is not about pretending to be busy. It's about actually living a life too rich to orbit anyone. Your time, your energy, your attention. These are all luxury goods. So don't be the woman who drops everything the moment a man calls or texts you. Don't be the yes to every last minute invite. In fact, don't go anywhere last minute, okay? Fill your calendar with your own passions, friendships that serve you, and goals. When I first moved to the French Riviera, I filled my days with language lessons, sea swims, Art Deco architecture walks, private events, not because I was trying to impress anybody, but because I finally understood my life was my own. When a man sees that he has to fit into your already beautiful, vibrant world, he stops taking you for granted. You become a scarcity, precious, not because you're faking it, but because you really are. Number 3, the emotional fortress. Now, I don't know about you, but too many women are emotional chameleons. If he's happy, you're glowing. If he's distant, you're spiraling out of control. That's not a relationship. That's not a partnership. That, my dear, is called emotional dependency. Being untouchable means your happiness is self serving, self sourced. It's not for sale, it's not rented out to someone else's moods. When a man sees that sulking won't shake you, that pulling away doesn't send you into a panic mode, he loses his grip. He actually loses his power on your emotions and he gains a deeper respect for you. I remember after my engagement ended, I swore no one would ever have that kind of power over me again. And it wasn't about building a wall, it was about creating my own internal safety net. I became my own comfort, my own validation. And the irony, that's when the right kind of men started leaning into me. Number 4, the mirror technique. Gaslighters thrive on confusion. They want you questioning your reality as often as possible. Now, instead of arguing, I need you to think about reflecting instead. When he says, "You're overreacting," you need to respond calmly. So, my reaction is the problem, not what you did to cause it, okay? This is about no drama, no crazy reactions. This is surgical. It shows that you see the game and you deciding not to play it. Now, I have used this at dinner tables, I have used this at cocktail parties, and it works every single time. Number 5, the power of unpredictability. Now, if he thinks he has you figured out by date number 2, girl, the chase is over. What have you been talking about this whole time? A woman that's unpredictable is magnetic because you are multidimensional. Be warm, be playful, soft, but also ambitious, focused, and a little mysterious. I personally like to present a little danger when I'm going on my dates, okay? That way he doesn't think that he's going to be able to sneak anything past me, okay? Now, that's not the case always, but it does seem to mix things up quite a bit. Do not always reply in 5 minutes or less. In fact, don't always reply in the same weekend. Let him discover your layers slowly, like an onion, I say. Make him cry. Or like chapters in a book that he can't put down because he can't figure out how the story is going to end. When I was rebuilding my life here in Cannes, I became a woman with layers, not because I was hiding anything, but because I was living my life. And trust me, that keeps a man on his toes in the best possible way. These 5 scripts aren't manipulation. And even if they were, it'd be okay, okay? They're mastery. These scripts are your armor. They are meant to protect your peace. They guard your energy. And they demand respect without you ever having to beg for it. Real attraction doesn't come from people pleasing. It comes from self worth so deep that nobody can drain it. And if you're ready to step into that kind of power, command attention, and become the woman who is truly untouchable, register for the CEO to Siren Challenge. There, I am going to walk you through even more strategy, psychology, feminine power moves to shift you from masculine and feminine so you can start getting everything you deserve without chasing any of it. Just remember, you are not here to audition for any roles. You are here to be chosen, first by yourself,